I thought I'd move on to something completely different. And headlamps. Now you may say that such fripperies are not worthy of consideration at the moment, but this is within the concept of a dry fit, making sure things actually go in there before going anywhere near trim or on so on and so on at a later stage. But anyway, here is the headlamp hole, and that is in fact one of the very first things I removed from the car when it came to me, was the remains of an old steel bowl, and I don't know what the actual lamp was, or even if there was one. Very old-fashioned style 7-inch round headlamp bowl. Anyway, so what I've got instead is what I would describe as a modern headlamp bowl, 7-inch again, together with a slightly retro looking Lucas branded 7-inch lamp. So the trick is going to be fitting this to that, and more significantly I think the this to that, which I suspect won't be quite as easy as you might think. I know this because I've already tried it to some extent. So anyway, these headlamp bowls, it's important, in fact if you look very carefully at the lamp, you'll see it says top just there. It's important for the beam pattern, and so the lamp has to fit in the bowl the right way round, and then the whole thing needs to go into the car the right way around. So the first step is to fit the lamp into the bowl. Okay, so I've actually already taken out 3 little screws and these little bracket things, and I'm taking the chrome ring off the front. Now there's lots of screws on these things actually, and it's important to notice that only some of them are adjusters. So that one is an adjuster with its kind of seat that's just below the level of the head. That's designed to catch this flange here. And there's another one here, and another one. Sorry, I'll tell a lie. There's only 2 adjustable seats. There's only 2 adjustable seats, and there's a fixed one. The fixed one is the one I must take off now in order to fit the actual lamp. So with that, the adjustable seat type screws for the beam adjustment are still there. You don't need to take them out at all. And I'm going to put, so I'm not sure which way round this goes, so I'm going to see which way this seems comfortable to go. So as well as the fixed one on here and the adjustable ones on here as well, there's also these 3 little tiny ones and these 3 little tiny clips, which are designed to interact with the funny, it's a bit like a loop on the side. I think other versions of this headlamp, it's not a loop, it's more of a tab. But anyway, so I'm going to fit this lamp to this outer ring, and I'm going to make sure that the loop thing intersects with one of these little screw holes. Now that's not correct, because that one fits correctly, but this one over here doesn't. They're not equally spaced, so I shall turn it round slightly. Does that one fit still? No. Still no. How about this one? None of them are lining up at the minute. Let's keep going. Yeah, that's correct. Right, I see what I was doing wrong now. I was confusing this little hole here with the adjusting slot thing with this one here that's all on its own, and that's the one that goes in the fixed point on the bowl. So I now have 3 that line up, 1, 2, 3, so I shall put the screws in. This is only necessary when you have a brand new headlamp bowl or lamp. It's not necessary to do this when it's just a bulb or something. So this hardly ever, it's a bit of a fiddle, but it hardly ever happens. Okay, so 3 clips attached. And now I'm able to fit this into the plastic bowl. So this is the top, and I think, so you might ask, why are there only 2 adjusting screws? I think it's pretty simple actually. There's up and down, and there's left and right, and it doesn't need anything else. So which is the top and which is the side? That's a question worth asking. I'm going to go with, it must be this one, because there's also an extra screw in the side which is intended to be used with a chrome ring, which I think is attached out of sight down the side, as opposed to at the top, which it would be if it was the other way around. So this is the top, and this is the top as well. And again, this type of operation hardly ever happens, because it's only happening if you need to change the actual headlamp bowl. Or not change, just fit it in the first place. There we go. So let's see how that looks. Yeah, that looks fine. So I put my screw in. And there we have it. One headlamp fitted into its bowl, complete with the side hole which is used to hold the chrome ring on, which I shan't be bothering with just yet, as I'm not sure. There's 2 types of that and I'm not sure which one it is. Anyway, so I'm going to put this, offer this up to the car. Okay, now that I know which is top, I know that this headlamp has to go this way and not that way or what have you. Now, what's the chances of the holes being in the right places? Because the most traditional form of this style lamp, of course, it would have a steel bowl rather than a plastic one like this. And this gasket, this is a rubber gasket on the back, is designed because, of course, the thing is, well, traditionally it's open to the road in there, so the whole thing is sealed in rubber. So arguably this gasket isn't actually needed where the wheel arch is closed off, like it is here actually. But anyway, I shall take it off for the moment, just to get it out of the way, so it makes everything a slightly tighter fit. And I can see that the hole is slightly too small. It's not quite clear where it's too small. So this aperture around here, oh, there's a big lumpy thing. I wonder why that is. this aperture here is going to need to be slightly enlarged. Yeah, this lumpy thing, which looks like it might be some kind of historic repair, needs to be de-lumpified. Let's see how long this takes. Right, I think the thing is now actually not the actual hole. I think it's actually now the plastic protuberances on there that's slightly not correct. And probably what I'm going to do here is I'm going to enlarge that hole, which appears to be the culprit at the moment. But when I've finished with the fitment, I shall go back and I shall fill in all the irrelevant places with some nice fiberglass filler. So I'll just enlarge that one a little bit there. In fact, you can see top and side is where it's got these much larger holes than the rest of them. And again, I think that's reflecting even on the old style headlamps, that only two of these attachments are actually for adjustment. Well, that's in, but I'm not sure I'm quite happy with the fit. Is the top still the top? Looks like it could do with coming this way very slightly. I can't tell if that's straight or not. Well, that looks pretty good, but I've got a sense that that's not quite... A little bit more over here. Okay then, I reckon that's good. So obviously there's some screw holes in the plastic bowl that affix the thing actually onto the body, which I'll then probably need to dismantle this thing to find out where those screw holes are. But the rest of the holes, that is, are surplus to requirements and will need to be filled in. Actually, I don't need to dismantle the headlamp because of course I've got this other one which hasn't yet been assembled, so I shall use that as a template and get some mounting screws. Looks like one of them actually. I was going to say it lines up, but it lines up with this horrible thing. What's the chances? Yeah, it's the same story. Alright, so I think we need to move on to grinding out all the nastiness and backfilling it with some fiberglass filler and then drilling the holes out properly. Right, so my holes have disappeared. Obviously this is not what you might call a final fill, but it certainly is getting rid of the rough bits that you could conceive of going to the next stage before long. This is behind the headlamp bowl, so there's a kind of a limit to how good it's worth having in a sense, but interesting bits of dirt and scabby paint came flaking off. You can see this here, look, different layers. This car has definitely been resprayed at some point. and they didn't do it very well because the paint has been flaking off. Bit of a divot there. Is it worth fixing? It's on the inside of the headlamp bulb. Bulb. Perhaps not. Okay, so where were we? So this is the top. Let's drill the holes out again. Let's see if that looks right. Measure twice, cut once, etc. Okay, so drill out the hole to the requisite size, which looks like 8mm. There's probably an argument for saying the hole should be slightly bigger. Right. Anyway, that's the adjustment holes. What I now need is the mounting holes. And there we have it. And I've got a chrome ring. Oh, that's the fixing point down here. The trick is to hook it over the top. Hook it over the top and then put a screw in through the bottom. If I can find where the bottom actually is. Hello, Jessica. Rotate it, push it in, and with any luck, that's where the hole is. There we go. So, a Gilban Invader with a headlight. Any other finessing can happen if and when, did I say if? When paint happens. Very good. I've only got one of these chrome rings, so I shall have to get another one. Anyway, there we are. That's what I tend to call a joblett rather than a major job or a project. But joblett done. And here, filmed several weeks later, months possibly, is the both headlamps fitted with their chrome rings, and as you see, even the chrome bumper kinda is also there, together with LED indicator lamps, which are designed for Land Rover, I believe, very similar to the originals. So yeah, the front of the car looking a lot more finished than it was. Still a lot of work to do, obviously, but that's a big step in the right direction.